I wanted this movie to be like two girls dancing. The flutter of an eye, an intake of breath, hair swaying like a pendulum. Everything girls are made of, becoming music. In Liz and the Bluebird, director Naoko Yamada attempts something seemingly no one else in the industry would try. It takes an experimental approach, representing the culmination of everything that makes Yamada and the staff at Kyoto Animation special. A visceral sensory experience, it uses each of its visual and audio components to individually and collectively tell its story. The film follows two girls, Nozomi and Mizore, as they prepare for their final performance together in the Kitauji High School concert band. The free piece features a duet between Mizore's oboe and Nozomi's flute, in a composition based off the fairy tale Liz and the Bluebird, a story that sounds a lot like their own. Yamada described the two like so. Nozomi is cheerful, happy, and full of life. She's a girl who plays the flute through the love of music. This Nozomi then calls out to Mizore. Mizore, always alone, is pulled out of her own world. This is instilled into Mizore, and Nozomi's world becomes everything to her. It's about the complexity of communication and our connections to others, the divide that exists between us when we fail to, and the challenges and pain brought on by attempting to bridge that gap. How do you open the feelings of others if you cannot open yourself? The film shares the same core staff as A Silent Voice, with Yamada back in the director's chair, Kensuke Ushio composing the soundtrack, Futoshi Nishia on character designs, and Reiko Yoshida the screenwriter. In many ways, it feels like a natural progression for the production team from that movie, where A Silent Voice took plenty of its own chances, coupling the team's avant-garde style to a widely popular manga. Liz takes it a step further. Building off her work on its parent TV series, Sound Euphonium, Yamada takes an already established property and molds it into something completely new. For starters, almost the entire film takes place inside the school. Ostensibly, such a lack of diversity in its setting could quickly grow stale, but the film makes exquisite use of the space to have it feel as restricting and isolated, or open and free as need be. Its rooms and halls have a cool, refined beauty to them, in direct contrast to the vibrant land of the fairy tale. The decision makes narrative sense as well. Much like the fairy tale world is the domain of Liz and the girl, the school is the world of Nozomi and Mizore. Nozomi is the center of Mizore's universe. There is no world outside of the one they share. Nishia radically altered the look of the characters, giving them an air of maturity and grace. The revamped designs are simpler, and as a result more malleable, allowing for more continuous, organic expression. Yamada noted how the thinness of the lines creates a certain sense of fleetingness. From the slight aversion of their eyes to the way they carry themselves, she wanted to capture these soft, ephemeral moments in the buildup of feeling, inserting such delicate movements and gestures to peel back their layered emotions. In addition to its look and feel, the sound of the space makes it come alive. There's a rhythm to it all. Look no further than its opening scene. Kensuke Ushio carries over his minimalist style found in his soundtrack for A Silent Voice, but here dials it up a notch. Ushio tends to weave diegetic sounds into his music to create this fascinating interplay between the world on screen and our experience of it. Nowhere is that more prevalent than here. For Liz, Yamada and Ushio decided to use the sounds of objects found in the school as music, even recording themselves doing things around the actual Kyoto school Kitauji is based on, such as tapping objects like the wall or glass window to create the most authentic effect. The result is nothing short of dazzling. The sparse keystrokes of a piano, matched to a chorus of shoes clattering across the hall, and the metronomic swaying of hair with each step. As they put the concept of the film together, Ushio said Yamada talked about decalcomania, a technique of pressing paint between sheets of paper to create a mirror image. Ushio used the process himself, spilling ink on sheets of music, folding them together, and putting the result to sound to produce these atmospheric tracks. This is also how they made the abstract Bluebird animation. While the two sides may appear identical, they are slightly different. Much like Nozomi and Mizore, they don't exactly line up. Yamada described how the shape of Mizore's love towards Nozomi doesn't match the shape of Nozomi's for Mizore. But I don't think it's just that the shapes are missing each other. It's a bit like two cogs of different sizes coming together for just a brief moment. I wanted to depict this moment between the two in a hopeful manner. Liz and the Bluebird represents an enormous risk, a franchise film pivoting away from its franchise, at times barely recognizable. Yet it's a risk Yamada was steadfast in taking on. Don't get me wrong, this is still sound euphonium. If anything, Liz deepened my love for this franchise even more, but it feels much more private and personal. I'm again left with the same question I asked after Yamada's previous 2 films. Where will she go next? With each passing work, her voice grows clearer and more assured. They all bear a distinct flavor that's so plainly hers, none more so than Liz. What separates Yamada from so many others is her willingness, nay, her eagerness to experiment, to test the limits of what she can do with this medium. Yamada is not the up-and-comer she once was at the time of Tamako. She's a bona fide studio leader, a confident director, and an industry innovator. She may not have the name recognition of the industry's biggest stars, her work might not cast the same broad appeal, but she's pushing the medium to a whole new space. No longer standing at the entrance to the universe, but a blue bird breaching out into an endless sky. Liz and the Blue Bird is the result of the insanely talented creative minds at its core daring to be different. How else do you wind up with, as Ushio put it, an old man like me recording whilst tapping a school chair, as the director laughs in the background? It's a genuinely unique experience, unlike anything else from this medium or any other. On its face, Liz is a simple tale, but that's where Yamada shines brightest. Much like Tamako Love's story, it's in that simplicity she parses out such a richly woven and deeply felt emotional experience. One we all can relate to because it scratches at the very essence of our humanity. We don't see the competitions the band works towards. This isn't about nationals or winning gold. Liz and the Blue Bird is the story of a dance between 2 girls, of coming together and growing apart. A love story and a tragedy. The relationship at its heart feels as though it may blow away in the breeze, fragile and fleeting. A transient moment in the lives of these girls you'll want to catch before it disappears. You can watch Liz and the Blue Bird in US theaters beginning November 9th. For a complete list of showings and locations, head to the Liz homepage on 11 Arts website. I'll put the link in the description. I want to thank 11 Arts for sponsoring this video, as well as distributing the film and allowing me to watch it before the release. This film means a lot to me, and I encourage everyone watching this to see it in theaters if you can. Even if you have no experience with sound euphonium, it's a must-watch for any fan of the medium. I can't wait to see it again myself. On that note, thanks for watching. See you next time.